It was the summer of 1986 when young Billy Thompson first wandered into the dense forest behind his grandparents' house. Mist clung to the low-hanging branches, creating an eerie silence that whispered promises of hidden secrets. Billy had always been told to steer clear of those woods, but 8-year-olds rarely heed warnings. Lured by a child's curiosity, he stepped further into the unknown. The sun began to dip, casting long shadows that twisted like sinister fingers. As if the trees themselves had breath, an almost imperceptible whisper filled the air. Suddenly, Billy's little hands touched something cold and rough. He gasped and jumped back, only to realize it was a rock, etched with strange symbols. But the rock was nothing compared to what lay beside it. A pair of glowing eyes emerged from the darkness. Billy's heart pounded as he looked at the squat, twisted form that beckoned him closer. The creature, with skin like cracked bark and a mouth filled with fangs sharper than broken glass, did not advance. It seemed almost lonely. "Who are you?" Billy asked, his voice trembling. "I am something your world has forgotten," it replied. For reasons that Billy never fully understood, the terror faded, replaced by a strange sense of camaraderie. He named the creature Whisper, after the mysterious murmurings that seemed to pervade the forest. As days turned into weeks, the two became unlikely friends. Billy would sneak out at dusk, meeting Whisper in their secret glade. They shared stories, Billy about his school and family, Whisper about lost ages and ancient creatures. But Whisper was not just a fairy tale keeping Billy company. Sometimes, Billy would notice that his new friend had a darker edge. Animals in the forest would vanish, and the old symbols carved into trees seemed to proliferate. One evening, as Billy prepared to leave, Whisper spoke in a grave tone. "I need you to help me come back to your world," it said. Billy shivered and stammered out a refusal. Whisper's eyes glowed more intensely, and for a moment, its loneliness gave way to something much more menacing. Filled with a child's naive bravery, Billy turned and fled back to the safety of his home. He never spoke of Whisper again, but he could feel the monster's eyes on him every time he neared the forest. Eventually, his family moved away, leaving Whisper to brood alone. But that wasn't the end. Years later, as an adult revisiting his now abandoned childhood home, Billy couldn't resist one last look into the haunted woods. The shadows seemed deeper, the whispers louder. As he approached the old glade, a chill ran down his spine. Whisper stood waiting, unchanged by time, as if the forest itself had preserved it. "I've been waiting," it said, its eyes gleaming with a mixture of malevolence and longing. Billy knew then that some monsters never truly fade, and some childhood friendships are better left forgotten. He backed away slowly, the weight of those ancient whispers growing heavier with each step. And the forest, ever watchful, swallowed him whole.